Hey, 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 Grand Risings, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Glad to have you guys here. Who is this? Cedric Divine, Grand Rising. Jay Jones, 888, Grand Rising. You are the gift, Grand Rising. Black Beauty, Black Butterfly, what's going on? Grand Rising. Michael Peaks, my brother, how you doing, man? Grand Rising. And Cheryl Celestine Foster, Grand Risings. Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you guys here. So we'll be getting it going here in just a minute. Waiting on my sidekick, my daughter, Voice or Vo Vibes. So she'll be here in a little bit. And Moon Faye, peace. How are you? Grand Rising. So good to have you here. So I think I'm going to talk a little bit on a pretty interesting topic today. So I think you guys will get something out of this today for sure. So not that you don't get something out of it every time, but this will be something interesting. Paula C, good morning. Good morning. Let's see, Ava Tracks, Grand Risings. How are you? Let's see. All right, you got your notebook ready? Good thing. You are a gift. You are the gift. Good thing. Hey there, Rhonda. How are you? Good morning. Good to see you here. Martha, how are you, Martha? So Martha's in my class. Good to have you here. I always love to have my family here. R. Will, good morning. Good morning. All right. And I am Kopavi. Good morning. And she, how are you doing, she? So peace, peace. Natasha Sicconi. Good morning. Good morning. There she is. There's my daughter. Good morning, Vo Vibes. Daughter of mine, my favorite daughter in the world. Well, she's my only daughter in the world, but she's still my favorite daughter in the world. Okay. I'm doing good, Martha. I'm doing good. Glad to have you here. Let's see. Good to be here on the live. Yeah, live and direct. Black and educated. All right now. Black and educated. Grand Rising. All is well. Good, good. KG, peace. How are you? All right. Yeah, buddy. We get it going here. Get it going here. Deborah Rose. There's Deborah Rose. How you doing, Deborah Rose? She's in my class too. Hey, good to have you here. Love Deborah Rose and Martha. See, Florian Lawal, Grand Risings. I hope I'm not butchering that name. Falarian, yeah, Falarian. Okay, I think I got close. Thank you, baby girl. So that's I call her, my nickname for my daughter is baby girl. So she'll be my baby girl till she's 900 years old. So y'all just got to deal with that, okay? But good morning, baby girl. How you doing? Oh, let's see. And Ann, good morning. Ann, I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce that last name. Manwanaki. Okay. Am I getting close? But good to have you here. So Ann's in the class. Amber, how are you doing? Amber's in the class too. Good to have you here. Black Beauty, Black Butterfly, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good to have you here. All right. Yeah, exactly. See, all parents should understand, especially dads. When it comes to their little girls, everybody understand. Don't mess with my little girl. Don't mess with my little girl because she might get hurt. I lose all spirituality then, for real. Woo-wee. Well, if I was still Christian, I'd probably be in jail right now because I just killed a few people and asked God to forgive me. I ain't lying. Oh man, good afternoon, David McClurkin. David's in the class. How you doing, David? David Whittier, how are you? How are you? Good morning. Grand Rising. All right, all right. No, we don't play. We don't play. I don't play either. So nope. Don't mess with my baby girl or you will get hurt with the quickness. So that's not a threat. That's a promise. No, hey, I'm tripping. I'm tripping, guys. I'm not violent most of the time. Anyway, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Okay, good morning. Good morning, Kathleen. Hey, good to see you, Kathleen. Good to see you. Let's see. All right, all right. Okay. So, guys, it is 11:04, and it's about that time. I got some notes here today. Okay. So we're gonna get it going. Get it going. So again, so as usual, I am Reginald Q A, and I'm the founder of Kemetic Living. My sidekick in chat is my daughter, Vo Vibes, of Voice. This will be a positive experience. So all of those negative nannies and those the ones who want to bring the negative vibes, you're gonna get bounced. Don't even play. We don't play with it. So we had a couple of them kind of sift in. Guys, if y'all catch them before we do, just let us know and we'll bounce them out of here. So none of the negative stuff. So, but anyway, the chat can get to moving pretty fast, guys. So I can't always question. Then you can give in super chat, and I can see the question because it'll post it up on the window. It'll highlight it for me. So you can do that. If I say something that is that you find beneficial, that enlightens you, then hey, give. You know. So prime the pump. That's what we're talking about doing. Priming the pump. But at any rate, I have a class called the African Mind Rewired that will teach you how to apply African spiritual science in your life. So it will make you empowered, positive, and happy in your life. So you want to have more, do more, be more. That's what my class is about. It's about teaching these ideas, not just as knowledge, because in the scheme of things, knowledge is only about the brain. But when you gain wisdom, it's about the heart. And that's what sticks with you. That's what sticks with you across lifetimes. Okay. So knowledge is temporary. You just learn that up here. And matter of fact, the Egyptians always threw away the brain. So they threw away the brain, but they kept the heart. So the heart is where your knowledge is stored. Okay. I also have a course, if you're not into a class, I also have a course called the African Spirituality Before Christianity, the Ultimate Guide. It'll break down any misconceptions you have had about Christianity and teach you the ancient African definitions and applications of concepts like the Trinity, sin, prayer, and many more. So the way that we were taught about them in Christianity is not how they were taught originally from African spirituality. So I clear up those ideas and teach you how to apply the real stuff, okay? Not the lies, okay? So I want to thank you for being here today. I'm excited as always. I love being here with you guys. Your questions about Kemetic science will be answered to the best of my ability. So if I don't know it, these are the words you will hear. I don't know. Okay. So I don't claim to know everything. I don't try to know everything. My knowledge is tunnel vision. So I study specific stuff for a specific reason. So people ask me about a lot of other stuff, Sumerian, Buddhism, stuff like that. I don't study those things. I don't care to. They just don't interest me. But what does interest me is lifting my people out of the mental bondage that I believe that religion has done to us, you know, and over the years. So, and helping humanity. So this is, to me, this is about all humanity. So everybody's welcome. Okay. If you get stuck into the physical, into race and skin color and all of that, you're missing the whole boat. You're missing the boat. So, so everyone is welcome, and I'm glad to have you here. I don't care if you're black, white, gay, lesbian. Everybody's welcome, and I always get that question about, okay, well, what about homosexuality? This is I have not studied what that means. Well, no, I can't say that. I have seen what that has meant in ancient times with indigenous people, and they didn't have a problem with it. Okay, it's only today that we have that problem with it. For me personally, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. It is the way you live your life is the way you should want to live it, plain and simple. Okay, so if that's where you are, that's where you are. I'm with you. So I love you, and I'm going to keep it moving. If you are not with that, then you're just not with this community. So, you know, and I'm okay with that. I can't please everybody. I don't try to. Okay. So, so that's where I am with all of that. So in case the homosexual question comes up, I stated in the beginning, I'm okay with it. And even if my ancestors weren't okay with it, I'm okay with it today because things change. Okay. And as they should. Consciousness evolves. We shouldn't try to fit everything today back into how it was 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. Consciousness evolves. So I'm okay with it. And that's how it's going to go. All right. So let's get started. So today I wanted to address the idea of time and how does time fly when you're having fun, and why this is important. Because there are some things that are so natural and easy for us that we don't recognize what's happening. Okay. Our soul actually communicates with us and perceives through us as physical individuals and beings all the time. We just don't recognize what's happening because it's just so natural. We just like, oh, I mean, that's just how it is. But I want you to understand after today how your soul is communicating with you on different levels and just different ways that you can recognize when that's happening. Okay. So time does not exist outside of our physical body. Time is a construct of our brain. Okay. Outside of the physical body, it does not exist. Excuse me. So your soul is still experiencing timelessness even while it's in your physical body. Even while you are alive, your soul still experiences timelessness. That means that you can as well. You can tap into that. Okay. So you experience this timelessness, but you never understood or recognized what it was. Okay. So I'm going to give you some clues and some ideas of how that happens. Okay. So one way is, I'm sure everybody has experienced, is when you're dreaming. When you're dreaming, your consciousness has disconnected from the physical, okay? And you're literally traveling in dimensions, you're traveling different places, you're all over the universe when you're dreaming, okay? When you're dreaming, it can feel like you have been in this situation for days, weeks, or whatever. It feels like a long time, okay? But when you wake up, it's only a few minutes or maybe a couple of hours that have passed. Right there, that's you experiencing how your soul experiences time. That's exactly what you're experiencing then. You're connected then to your soul and to your soul experience and how it experiences outside of our physical body and our brain construct and our mind. Okay, literally. So this is something that we deal with. I'm just give you a couple of quick scenarios that we deal with all the time. How many of you have been in, say, like a classroom or church, where you are bored as hell? You're like, I'm ready to get here. Man, why is this? God, he's still talking. Good grief. You're sitting there, you're bored, you're ready to go. Well, when this is happening, when you're bored, it's like time is speeding up within you. You're wanting time to speed up. But you look at your clock or you look at a watch and it seems like time is creeping. Objectively, it's creeping, but within you, it's sped up. So that's why it seems like time slows down on the clock when you're bored, because inside of you, you're moving fast. Okay. Subjectively, you're moving fast. All right. But when you're excited and you're enjoying, it seems like the clock all of a sudden just moving fast. It's like, man, you don't want it to end. But that's in that moment, in those times, you are literally stopping time. Time slows down subjectively within you. But if you look at the clock or you look at the watch, time is speeding up objectively. Okay, it seems like time is going fast. Okay, but that's how the soul, when you are in joy. Okay, let me get I had some props here today. When you are in joy, time speeds or time slows down. It becomes it's you are experiencing the eternity of how your soul feels when it's in its native environment. That it just time literally slows down. It becomes eternal. There is only now. So outside the physical body, time slows, or your soul feels that when time slows down. Okay, so that's why when you're having fun, time seems to fly when you look at it objectively at a clock. But it's your relative experience that is the most important. Your inner experience, that's really how time is. That's your soul level perception. When you are in joy, okay, when you are in joy, time slows down for you physically as well. It makes your body, you age less when you are enjoying. When you are enjoying life, you age less. That's one way that it affects you physically. That state of being in joy makes you age less. When you're doing what you enjoy, you age less. Okay? So that's one of the reasons why, man, if you're doing something that you hate doing every day and you're miserable, you're killing yourself. You're gonna age quicker. Okay? So find what you need to do and find that joy. And that's when you think about how the creator experiences. Because the creator is always creating, and it's creating from joy. We might call it love, but it's a vibrational experience. You're creating, or the creator is creating. If you think about it, when you're creating, if you're an artist, a painter, a sculptor, or heck, a teacher, or somebody that does something where they literally have to create things and they're having fun doing it, how many times do you look up at a clock and you don't even realize you've been there for 3 or 4 hours, but it feels like it might have been 30 minutes? When you're in joy, that's what's happening. You're creating, literally. You're creating, and time slows down for you. But on the clock, it seems like it's speeding up, okay, objectively. But subjectively, it slows down. So that's one way the soul naturally experiences through you. It's so natural, we don't even think about it. We talk about it all the time. You always hear people say, man, I was having so much fun, the time just flew by. You experience that all the time, but that's you connecting to your soul. Okay? How many of you have had the experiences of deja vu? So this is another idea where soul you in that moment you literally connected to the information that your soul is giving you. So deja vu is literally soul level awareness, and you're literally jumping timelines. You desire to experience something so strongly that you jump timelines to where you're going to experience whatever that is. So Rhonda says Rhonda's got her hands up. Say, yeah, she experienced it. But when you do that, you're literally jumping a timeline. And you're going to experience whatever that strong desire was. You jump the timeline to experience that, because we got infinite number of ways that things can happen in our life. But when you're going to jump, when you're in deja vu, because you've expressed a desire to experience a certain thing, you jump that timeline. Okay, that's what deja vu is. You're sitting and you're going like, wait a minute, it feels like I've been here before. I remember this happening before, and you're kind of like, was that a dream? Or hey, sometime it might have been a dream. But when you experience that, you literally recognize from your soul level that you jump timelines. Okay, and you jump to a new track to where you're going to experience something that you strongly desire. That's what deja vu is doing. So it happens a lot when we are like creating our lives and we're moving into new directions that we hadn't been in before, that's when you start to experience deja vu. So it's a positive thing, definitely, definitely. Synchronicities, okay? Synchronicities are when you recognize vibrationally associated experiences, because we're in linear time, okay? And they call it the arrow of time, where it only just goes forward. Well, that's not the truth. So time, there's only right now. But you can experience things associated to a certain vibration. That's what's happening when you're dealing with synchronicities. So you're literally, it could be the thing that the event, excuse me, the event can be 2 days or 2 weeks apart. Say, like for me, and I always use it's a cardinal. Is usually a synchronicity for me to let me know that I'm on a certain vibration. When I see a cardinal fly across my path or sit on the windowsill, then I know whatever I'm thinking about or whatever mood that I'm in, I'm vibrationally in sync with something. Okay. I can see that cardinal tomorrow. I can see a cardinal next week. I can see a cardinal next month. But every one of those experiences are connected synchronistically by that cardinal vibrationally. So they are associated vibrations or associated emotions that I'm feeling. So that's a way you can recognize associations vibrationally in time, but they are actually associated outside of time. It just means that you're on a certain particular vibration. That's what a synchronicity is. Get excited when you see those. Okay. So that's a way, again, that your soul is always perceiving through you all the time. It never stops. You just have to be able to tap into it. When you do start to tap into you, when that Osiris aspect within you, that's the soul aspect within all of us, mankind, man or woman. The Osiris, that's what the ancients call the Osiris. Okay. That aspect within you is always trying to get you to connect to your higher self, the soul that's outside of you. Okay. The aspect of your soul that's in the higher realms. Okay. The biggest thing that keeps us from doing that, one of the main emotions that keeps us from doing that, is fear. Okay. So anything on that spectrum of fear, anger, hate, despair, any of those things usually keep us from literally experiencing our higher self. Okay. So I am Kopabi says it's numbers for me. Yeah. So it's not. I do numbers too. 111-444, and thank you for that gift. I appreciate that, $5. But yeah, it can be numbers, it can be letters, it can be words, it can be anything, but it's your higher self that recognizes it. You recognize the synchronicity. Okay. It's something specifically for you. It doesn't have to mean anything else to anybody else. Excuse me. But you recognize it synchronistically. And you're connecting those dots, so to speak, in time, but they're outside of time and they are associated vibrationally. So they're through associations. That's literally how reality works outside of our physical body. Things are associated via vibration and frequency. Okay. And that's how we experience things. Time, in a way, in our physical body is like a marker. Okay. So it marks experience for us in the spirit, in the physical, but it is only a construct of our brain. So how does that matter to you in your life? Okay, what can you use for that, or how do you use that in your life daily? Okay, and one way you can do that is to recognize that your point of power of changing anything in your life starts right now. If you want to change any aspect of your life, you can have that desire starting now, and you can forget about the past. Okay. And then you can start, you can make that change, start to make that change, start to do the things to make that. If you think about it, time, the idea of what we think about, and if we think about the past, is really a paradox. Okay. And when I say a paradox, I mean it's this and that. Okay. A paradox is this and that. About something in the past, the paradox is, when are you thinking about it? Right now. Even though you mark it as something in the past, you just brought it to your present. So if you're angry about something in the past, you're bringing something from the past to your present, and it's affecting your present. But at that moment, you can have a decision to make. Do you keep holding on to whatever that is and lowering your vibration in the now, or do you throw it out, push it away, and start to focusing on something different? Because that's where your point of power is right now, always. And whenever I'm dealing with like some hardships, and this is something I dealt with in the past, because I told you guys before, I've been in the position where I've lost everything I had twice. Okay, not one time, two times, because I'm a hard-headed son of a sucker when it comes to following my guides. Woo! But anyway, but there was also lessons that I had to learn in that. But during those times, what I started to do was to recognize one thing that I could do at any time to center myself and not feel afraid or angry. No matter what was happening, I could always say to myself, you know what? Right now, everything's okay. In this moment, right now, everything's okay. That centered me. I didn't put my focus on the past of what happened, and I didn't focus on what the possibilities were or worry about the future. I just said, right now, everything is okay. And the fear or the anger, it goes away, because right now, you can say that truthfully. Unless you're getting hit in the head with a bat or something right at that moment, the truth is, right now, everything is all right. Everything is well. So that's one way you can use that idea in your life daily to center yourself. Okay? It's recognize that there's only now. And then you can use that to start to desire or do something new and different in your life, to think a different way, to have something different. And you start that right now. Okay? That's how you're going to use that. All right. So that's basically, so that's it. That's how you can look at time and how your soul experiences time through you every single day. You're doing it all the time, but it's so natural you take it for granted. Most of us. Okay. We don't consider what's happening and how our soul perceives through us. But that's happening all the time. All the time. It's just a natural aspect of us being human. Okay. Or us being a soul human form. Okay. So I'll take questions now. I've been seeing the chat's been going crazy, guys. So I've been talking, so I haven't been able to read the chat. But I know my daughter, she keeps it going in there. So yeah. I see y'all talking to each other. Cool. I like that. I love it. Community. Let's see. How does christening and baptism relate to Kemetic spirituality? So that's Tatiana Bell asked that. So we've gotten more into what it means physically, but baptism on another level in Kemetic science actually means the soul immersing itself in the physical body. So there's two things. So baptism is actually, from a Kemetic perspective, you rising to your spiritual or a higher spiritual level. Okay. But it is also, when the soul immerses itself in the physical body, that's a baptism. Okay. because the body is 70% water. The idea of Moses parting the Red Sea. The Red Sea symbolically is blood, okay? And that when the soul descends into the body, that's the Red Sea. Egypt is considered the physical body. So a lot of these things that we read in the Bible are really esoterically more symbolic ideas. So they're not just, the things that we learned in church. So the baptism and stuff like that, it's more of you elevating spiritually. Okay. So not just somebody pouring some water on your head or dunking you in a tub or whatever, about to drown you. So some of the Euros can learn about the Euro spirituality. Apparently, if you're on the Euro, saying you cannot reincarnate as another race, but come back. That might be for Lauren Lau says, I'm of the Yoruba race, currently learning about Yoruba spirituality. Apparently, if you are from the Yoruba race, then you cannot reincarnate as another race, but come back as Yoruba. Personally, I don't believe that. It doesn't make sense metaphysically. Why would you, if you could live 1,000 lives, why would you only come back as one race and one sex every single time? Okay, even if you think about it, I remember when I was a kid, we used to play cops and robbers, or cowboys and Indians or whatever. Okay, I get tired of playing one part or the other. If I was the cop and the robber, sometimes I wanted to be the robber because I wanted to run from the cop. I got bored playing that same part. If you think of it in that terms of a soul can live 1,000 lives. Why would it keep? Just common sense would say to me, why would it live one way 1,000 times? A soul is trying to learn to advance in wisdom. Why would it only live one way 1,000 times? How does it learn? Because at some point, all that you can learn from that experience is all that you can learn. At that point, you're stagnant. And when you're stagnant, you know what happens? Time speeds up and you get bored. So that to me is just how I would look at that. It doesn't make sense to me for Lauren that you only live as one race. And from the things that I've studied, that's just not the case. We live as all races. We live as all sexes. We live as races beyond the human race. We live we incarnate on other planets into other realities. So that just doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Doesn't mean that I have it right. I'm just saying logically, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't want to speak against your teachings or what you've learned, but I'm just saying for me that it doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's see. My uncle's, yeah, Rhonda says, my uncle used to say everything is perfect as it is, and everybody is doing the best they can and given the circumstances. Yep. That's it. Everything is as it should be. Now, how do you use that, or how do you take that? That's really what it comes down to. How do you decide to live that? So everything is as it should be, and as it should be is you have opportunities to learn as a soul. Let's see. Yep, there will and I agree with that. She says there will always be calamity or disaster. It's the response that determines the vibes. Absolutely, positively. The calamity and disaster are really a reflection. You can decide to be reactive, or you can decide that, hey, I'm going to choose to handle this a different way. Okay, so there's always going to be stuff happening. Let's see. Does your daughter have a YouTube channel? Yeah, just her name on YouTube is her YouTube channel. So you can probably click on that and find her YouTube channel. So Vo Vibes. Let's see. Who lives in poverty? as well. I'm not living with that because okay. And this is a good question. Love JJ 1814. How do you tell someone who lives in poverty it is well? I'm not living with that because of the current situation. So that's a great question. And this is the thing. Everything is relative. So I grew up poor. All right. I didn't know it. I didn't know I was in poverty. Okay. It was just the way life was. There were some days I didn't have anything to eat. There were some days that all that I had to eat was flour and some sugar. So I made me some flour pancakes and melted down the sugar and made me some syrup. That was it. Okay. A lot of days. But that was just how life was. But even with that, all was well. I wasn't sick. I wasn't like, about to die. Nothing was happening that I could not handle. So that's what I mean. All is well in that moment. But I knew I had to, once I started to learn about the outside world and what other people had, then I had a relative experience and I could say like, damn, that was pretty tough, wasn't it? But while I was in it, it was just my life. Okay, all was well. It's just the way that we live, and I didn't know any better until I got outside of that. Okay, so in that moment and in those times, all was well. I didn't have any other perspective. So when people are lamenting that they're miserable about something, they're looking at it relative to something else. You know, but if you want to change that, then there are things that you can do to change getting out of poverty. I did. Okay. I had to because I knew that was something that I didn't want to live. I knew that was something I didn't want my children to experience. Okay. So I did things, one, I played basketball. I was able to get a basketball scholarship and pay for college. Okay. So and even after that I was able to do well financially, getting jobs and stuff like that. So my children didn't experience what I did. I didn't want them to. Okay. So yeah, so that was a good question. Um you're saying that's being inconsiderate. I'm not sure how that can be inconsiderate because my life is my life, their life is their life. So I don't know how that can how you can say that. But if you would, love JJ, just explain that to me how you feel like that's inconsiderate. Now let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to catch up with these guys. Okay, I see. Yosh Ali said, your African spirituality before Christianity course changed my life and really put my wife and I on pursuit of happiness. Thank you for that, Yash Ali. So thank you for that and the gift. So Yash Ali says, your African spirituality before Christianity course changed my life and really put me and my wife on a pursuit of happiness. So I definitely appreciate hearing that. And that's what I think that you won't find anything like what I teach anywhere else. It's something that is unique to me and uniquely me. So even talking about Kemetic spirituality, I don't follow everybody else's path because, quite frankly, a lot of the Kemetic stuff that I've seen, there is no way in hell I even want to be associated with it. It's negative. People are. I don't deal with that. Life is about being free, positive, and creating. That's what I want to connect with for all of us. Let's see. Let's see. ProNep says, good teaching, bro. Keep it up. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. See, thanks for answering the questions. Love JJ. Sure. And I appreciate the questions. So you guys ask questions that make me think too, so I appreciate your questions. So I like those. I'm not looking for you guys to agree with me on everything. That's not what this is about. If something that I say does not resonate with you, guys, throw it out. Don't be like, oh, I got to do that, but that doesn't feel right to me. No, don't do that. Do what feels right for you. I'm just giving you like a track that you can run on, but you don't have to stay on my track because you got to create your life for you. That's what this is about. You got to create it in the way that suits your soul, not mine or anybody else's. So if I say something that does not resonate with you, man, let it flow out, roll off like water on a duck's back. Just let it roll off and keep on moving. Okay, and that's the way I look at that. Let's see. Statement all is well. Yes, all is well. Sure thing. Nikoshi MP said, thank you for that powerful statement. All is well. And that's another, to me, that's one of my core principles that I live by, is that the universe is a friendly place and all is well. And no matter what happens, it happens for my greater good. No matter what. Guys, I basically, even right now, I've been living for the last 4 days without water in my apartment because my pipe broke, busted in my apartment and flooded me out. What was it, Wednesday? And you know, I've been without water ever since. So I'm probably gonna have to end up going to a hotel because, you know, brother be kind of like, woo, you know, for real. But gonna go to a hotel and do what I need to do. But right now, all is well. I mean, I'm here with you guys and being able to talk with y'all, you know? So all is well. I can't complain, you know? So I don't know that this experience might lead me to meet somebody. When I go to the hotel, it might lead me to meet somebody that I never would have before. Okay? So I can't look at it as something negative. I can say, hey, you know, I can find the positive in whatever it is. So that's how I look at that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Does the soul have a choice not to be? Camp Okoye, good question, says, does the soul have a choice not to be reincarnated? Yes, absolutely, positively. But at some point, if you're wanting to learn and advance as a soul, you're going to reincarnate. It might not be on Earth, but you're going to reincarnate somewhere. Okay. But yes, you always have a choice. So there's nobody like pushing you out the door and making you do things. You know, not the way we think about it. God is going to tell us, or as Christians, God is going to tell us how to live, what to do. You know, how we should think. You know, stuff like that. That's not how it is. You decide. You are the creator of your reality. Okay, you are the creator of your reality. Let's see. Let's see. Mia Moore says, can two people, one spiritual, the other Christian, be in a committed relationship? Absolutely. It's about what y'all want to make that relationship. Okay. Now, what I have found is that usually, and I've actually been in a relationship recently with a Christian woman. We're not now, but the reason a lot of times is that the Christian can be intolerant. Okay. They're not comfortable with you not believing like they believe. And so that if you two can navigate, because people of two different religions are in great relationships. It's about you maneuvering between each other. So don't get into that bag of thinking this person has to think exactly like I do. That's not what it's about. So yes, absolutely. Two people can be in a committed relationship that are not spiritual. One can be religious, one can be spiritual. It's how they decide to make it. Let's see. Hold on here. So Love JJ said, okay, Love JJ was going to explain inconsiderate. So inconsiderate meaning it is well, be content, it is okay, etc. The present moment, it's not okay for them. They should not be content. They are being hurt or abused. What's your way to respond to that? Thanks. Okay. And I kind of did respond to that, Love JJ. So thank you for clarifying. But I kind of did respond to that. When I was in that state of pop, I mean, there was days, and I guess that's why I can be okay with where I am now. There was times when in the winter we didn't even have any heat. My mom struggled a lot of times. We didn't have heat in the winter. So when this happened this time, I was like, oh shit, I remember how that is. But back then, I didn't know any different. So it wasn't that I was content. It was just I didn't know any different. That's just how my life was. A lot of times people and children in poverty, that's just how their life is. So that they don't know any different. So it's not being inconsiderate of them, okay? And it's not that they're being content. Once they get a glimpse of something different, and that's what happened to me. I got a glimpse of a different life. Once I went out to college, I started to see how other people live, and it wasn't like what I lived, you know? So all of a sudden, I got to see that, you know, people considered me poor. But when I was in it, I didn't consider myself poor. It was just how it was. So it wasn't inconsiderate. It wasn't me being content. I didn't know any better. Okay. And that's the way you can think about it the same way. People that live in Christianity, they don't know any better, but they think that that's all that there is. And they're going to tell you that you should come back to what they think and what they believe, because that's what it is. They have this limited box of an experience. So if you don't know any better, you can't do better. You know, bottom line. But when you do know better and you want better, then it's up to you to do better. All right. Love JJ say thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right. Let's see. Rhonda says, I was going to ask you, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I'm a little bit funky, but otherwise I'll be okay. You know, I'll get some baby wipes and work on it. But like I say, I'm going to go to a hotel later today. So, you know, just hold up in a hotel for a couple of days. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. And she says reincarnation is learning. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not punishment. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I Heart You gave $4.99. Thank you very much. And I Heart You says, what's the real story behind the rainbow, and does it have anything to do with chakras? It's just the rainbow and the chakras. Yes, and in short answer to your question, yes, it does have something to do with chakras. Okay. Understand that you are light. A part of you is light. Okay. And that light, all the rainbow colors is light being split up into its different component parts. That's what you're seeing. Is shining through the raindrops and being split up. Okay. So the light is fragmented. That's what you see as the colors. Your chakras are different colors. So your light is split up into 7 different parts. So that's how it's related to chakras. It's really that simple. Okay. As light, you are split up into 7 different parts, and those parts are different frequencies and vibrations. So you experience things through those 7 different chakras on different frequencies and vibration. Okay. So good question. Very good question. We actually talk about that in my class. So Grand Rising, Crystal B from Dallas. Hey, Dallas, homegirl. So I'm in Dallas too. All right. Michael Peaks, thank you, brother. Michael Peaks always come through, man. I sure appreciate you, man. I really do. It'll help me in my hotel room today. Let's see. So it doesn't mean we shouldn't respond in love, support them, and help them, etc. Long story. Love JJ asked, so would you say that it doesn't mean we shouldn't respond in love and support of them? No, it doesn't mean that at all. You be you, and you respond the way you need to respond to them. So absolutely. Yeah. I see Shawty Adams. I hear you. Let it go. Let's see. Maybe I'll talk is the story about the unlucky proof of souls reincarnated to other beings. Steph. Man, let's see. Steph Brooklyn says, is this maybe I'll talk it, but is the Anunnaki proof souls reincarnated into other beings? I don't know if it's proof, but it's a possibility. Yeah. So absolutely. But I'm pretty, I can say I'm pretty well convinced that we as souls incarnate as other beings. It just, again, and it's just a logical progression to me. there's over, I mean, there's trillions and billions of stars. How many of them have planets around? And I'm just thinking in the physical. How many of those stars would have planets around them? And I mean, billions of planets. What's the odds that with trillions and billions of stars and billions of planets, that Earth is the only place that has life? It doesn't even make sense to me that would be the case, that we would be the only beings in the whole entire universe. We'll be the only ones that get to enjoy all of this. It doesn't even make sense. So logically, yeah, there has to be other levels, other beings. Let's see. Let's see. Read one book. Ooh wee! I am Kopabi says, and thank you for that gift of $5. Says, don't be afraid of a man who respects all books. Be afraid of such a man that only reads one book. Ooh wee! I agree with that one. And how many times we hear Christians say, I only read the Bible. That's why your ass so stupid. I'm sorry. No, let me go back from that. Pull back from the ledge, Reg. No. No. So, but sometimes the reasoning skills just are really lacking from Christians, you know. So they only read one book. They get no knowledge from anything else. They think the Bible can answer every single question about life. The lady I used to date, that's where she felt like the Bible could answer every single question about life. And I'm like, no, that's not what it was designed for. So anyway, but don't even read it. Yeah, but they don't even read it. That's true. That's true. They just wait to be told. Let's see here, roll and tell. Let's see. Do you know of any of your past lives when you were not human? No, because B Banks asked, do you know any of your past lives when you were not human? And I that's something that's for me, it's not relevant to me right now, but you're usually going to tap into the past lives that are relevant to the experience that you're having right now. In other words, you all going through the same thing. Okay. So when you're going through that same theme, then the lives that can help you through this life is what you're going to tap into, and you can literally get information from those other lives. Okay. So I don't know any of mine that are. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Somebody's knocking on my door. Just a second. Oh. Hey, how's it going? Are y'all ready to get started now? Yeah, man. All right, come on in. Okay. All right, I'm on a video chat here, so okay, they're coming to fix my my stuff here, so we'll probably be having to cut out here in just a little bit. But anyway, let's see. So yes, this has been a lot of Steph Boykin, thank you, Brooklyn, thank you for that donation. Definitely appreciate it. $20. Definitely appreciate it. Let's see, where does this all go? Wait for 20 years to reincarnate. Cheryl Celestine Foss says, where does the soul go to wait for 20 years and reincarnate? It's this a life between lives. And understand again, outside of the physical body, there is no time. So it doesn't even seem like 20 years. It can seem, there can be a life that they could have that could be between 300 and 400 years difference. But to them, it's just a blink of an eye. It's like waking up and then going to sleep. Going to sleep at night and then waking up in the morning. That's an analogy that you can use. Okay. So y'all hear some noise? They're fixing my wall here, or going into my wall here right now. So let's see. Spirit guide. Let's see. If you decide not to reincarnate, what is your soul doing? Are you now a spirit guide? You can be, Love JJ. If teaching is something that you want to do as a spirit guide, then yeah, you can reincarnate. You can reincarnate as a spirit guide. Definitely. That's a definite possibility. So I'm so hard headed. I got 3 spirit guides that work with me. Let's see. vibrations and ESP. Blue Heron, good question, says, what is the difference between vibrations and ESP? Vibrations is just how we registered our experience, but ESP is just the name that we give the, I guess, the experiences that we have as a soul. So our psychic abilities and stuff like that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Rhonda. Yeah, I might have some water today. Would I have some water today? Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. He said I was going to have some water today. All right. Well, y'all hear it's getting ready to get noisy, guys. So I'm probably going to have to cut out here. But let's see. How do we find out who's our spirit guide? Raphael Flores says, how do we find out who our guides are? You can actually tap into and ask, hey, spirit guides, what's your names, or talk to me, and just sit quietly and wait for information to start to come to you. At first, you might feel like you're making it up, but you are, but you can tap into that, and you can ask for your guides to speak to you. Okay. So a lot of that stuff you can go in for yourself. You can do for yourself. Dominique Stoner, my teachings are all based on the Kemetic principles. So everything I do, but for me it's Kemetic. So that's the source. That's where I got those. So everything is based on the Kemetic, on the what you call the Hermetic principles. Let's see. What can do all okay here? Thank you, sir. All right. You're welcome, Raphael. You're welcome. All right. Okay. All right, guys. It's coming up on an hour, and I know it's probably going to get pretty noisy here in a bit, so I'm probably going to have to cut it short. But I want to thank you guys for being here with me today. And as always, you all guys asked some great questions. Candace Hogan, thank you for that $10. I really appreciate it. Very kind of you. But until next time, guys. So we'll do it again. So if Voice is okay with it, we'll do it again Wednesday night, and just ask questions. We'll just hang out. All right. All right, guys. Hey, well, y'all have a good day, and I will talk at you later. Okay.